Kelly here with Kelly's Soroka Life with your reading for October. So we're 4 days into this wonderful season of fall and October, the month of October, and we're looking at some things that are kind of representative of this time of year, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, with the days getting shorter, the changing of the leaves, and more darkness at night. So we're going to look at three things. We're going to look at the moon, change, and shadow. So we're going to look at those three aspects of this time of year to give you a good reading and some good advice for the rest of this month. So the first card, and this is the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot, and the first card is Moon. What do you need to see in a different light? And here we have the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is often a card of being left out, of something that you can't really see a way out of. And the moon, we know, illuminates things at times and illuminates things very differently and in a very different light than the sun. So there's times when the moon is shining very, very brightly, and there's times that you can't see the moon at all. So there's something here with the Five of Pentacles where you're feeling left out, where you're feeling like you can't find the resources that you need. You can't find the answers that you're looking for. So you need to look at that situation in a different light. Look at it in different ways so that you can come to a better understanding of the situation. And sometimes that just means taking a step back, taking a little pause, asking advice from someone else, looking maybe at an oracle card with the question, just meditating on it or journaling about it. So looking at it from a different perspective, getting all of that out into the open so that you can look at this situation from a different way. Because there are answers there. There's answers out there. But right now it's just been hard for you to see it. And the more that you look at this situation in a different way, in a different light, you'll definitely be able to find what you're looking for. So the next thing we're going to look at is change, because this is a season of change. And what change do you need to embrace? And here we have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is that kind of beginning quality. The page is the first card, the first court card, and it is in the suit of the swords, which is communication and logic, the mind, messages. So there's a change that you want to look at embracing in that area. So it may be a change in the way that you are communicating with someone, in the way that you have been communicating is just not working. And you can see that the way that this communication is going is not working for you and working for the other person. And this could be someone that you work with. It could be someone that you're friends with. It could be a partner, a spouse, a child, somebody in your environment that you have been having trouble up to this point communicating with. And it could be different ways that this communication is going on. So it could be that you're expressing what it is that you need, and this other person is just not understanding, or that this person is trying to express something to you and you're just not really understanding what it is that they want from you. So going about it in a different way, so communicating in a different way with that person in a new way, embracing this change of a new way of communication. And it could be that you need to have a third party there, as maybe it's a counselor that can listen to both sides and help you with that. Maybe it's a mediator that you need in a work situation, something that you need to change the way that it's going on because it's just not working. So the last thing we're going to look at is shadow. So we're moving in the Northern Hemisphere into this time of shadow, into the time where the days are getting shorter and the nights are getting longer. There's much more shadow. There's in a lot of places the weather is much colder. The trees, are bare. A lot of things are dying off for the winter. So this is a good time to look at things in a different way, because there is this shadow time. There is this time of going inward, this time of connecting with that shadow side of yourself, connecting with the things that maybe have been making you uncomfortable, and you really need to, it's something that you really need to deal with. So how can you best use this coming shadow time, this time of rest, and this time of restoration, and this time of things dying off and giving things, giving growth a rest? How can you best use this coming time? And this, we have the Justice card. And here, justice is about fairness and about balance and equality. And I like this card right now because we are, October, the beginning of October is in Libra season. And justice is balance and fairness, all those great Libra qualities. So using this shadow time and being really fair to yourself. How can you treat yourself fairly? A lot of times we will say and do things for ourselves and to ourselves that we would never really say to another person, because we know that it's not a fair assessment. We know that it's not a fair judgment. And so we wouldn't bring that or say that to or express that to someone else. So this time, this shadow time that's coming up, really look at those things that you're saying to yourself and the way that you're judging yourself. And are you being fair to yourself? Are you being too judgmental? Are you being too harsh? Or maybe you're not being harsh enough. Maybe there's some boundaries that you really need to set in order to be more fair to yourself and to give yourself those boundaries so that you're saying yes to the things that you really want to say yes to and say no to the things that you really want to say no to. So it is a good time to look at how you're treating yourself. Look at yourself, your self-care, how you talk to yourself, how you care for yourself, how you judge yourself, because it's very easy to be our own worst critic, and you want to use this time to embrace, especially in this next couple of weeks that are still in Libra season, really embrace that justice, being fair to yourself, and asking for things you want. And that goes back to the Page of Swords, and expressing yourself and communicating, and that would be communicating with someone else. But here, you're going to be communicating with yourself and talking to yourself and making sure that you're being being your own best cheerleader and not your own worst critic. So if you enjoy tarot and if you're enjoying October and this spooky season, and you really want to get more into the practice of tarot or any kind of divination, or doing spells, especially for this time of year, doing ancestor work, I have the Broom and Moon Coven over on my Patreon page, and you are more than welcome to come and join us there. And this October, we're going to be doing lots of fun things. We have the full moon ritual in Aries coming up, and the new moon ritual in Scorpio coming up, and a tarot reading there, and journal prompts, and all kinds of good things, and getting ready for our next big Halloween celebration. So look for that I'll leave a link down below, and come join us. I would love to have you there, and I hope that you have a great October. Thanks. See you in the next video.